Giant tech companies like Apple and Anthropic are reportedly swiping hundreds of thousands of pages of data from YouTube to train their AI. And these are the three things that you need to know about this story, which broke in Proof earlier this week. So the first thing to know is just what's going on here. So according to this investigation, these companies took data from 173,536 YouTube videos from 48,000 channels, including big ones like the Khan Academy, MIT, Harvard, Wall Street Journal, and a lot of different individual creators. And they grabbed the subtitle data out of those videos and used it to train their AI. And Google puts subtitles into their videos automatically. Anything you upload to YouTube gets subtitles. And it's meant to be something for people who have accessibility challenges and need the subtitles, or who are just listening to the video on mute. It's also a way for YouTube to understand what's in the videos. It's not something that they allow people to go and grab. And in fact, Google's terms of services for YouTube actually prohibit those kinds of giant scraping operations like is allegedly happening here. So that's the basics. These things have been grabbed. They've been used for training. The second thing to know is why this is something that's significant. Why are companies grabbing all this data? And the reason is that the data in YouTube videos is incredibly valuable to these companies. When you think about what they're training these AIs on, they pretty much run out of traditional written material. They train on Wikipedia, they train on pretty much every publicly available web page and almost every book that's been scanned. Even that is not enough data. And it's also not the right kind of data. They want the kind of spoken language, conversational data that you're hearing right now as I record this video on my own channel, where somebody's speaking in a natural way. And it's hard to get that data. It's hard to go out and record hundreds of thousands of people talking. So what they've done is bypass that by basically grabbing this data from YouTube videos, where you have a lot of people like me speaking in an extemporaneous, unscripted way. And that data is super valuable because if they can train their AI to speak like that, it sounds more natural. It sounds like, hopefully like I sound natural, that I'm just talking to you about something. And so that's very valuable training data, which is likely why these companies went out and allegedly helped themselves to it. The third thing to know is that this is a complex area. And I'm not an attorney, so I can't provide any kind of legal advice on this, but copyright, when it comes to these things, is very, very fluid. It's evolving. It's unclear where the law stands at the moment. So even though this is a violation of Google's terms of service, these companies are going to be claiming, well, this is fair use. We're allowed to go do this. We didn't actually keep the data. We just sort of used it to train the model, to get the model familiar with this stuff. We didn't grab any of the videos themselves. We literally just took out the data. And it's not going to really harm anybody because we're not trying to compete on generating subtitles. They're going to make a bunch of arguments about why this is totally fine. And honestly, at the moment, there's not a good legal framework to say whether or not that's true. So absent that framework and absent regulation, companies are just going and grabbing whatever it is that's useful. And again, back to point 2, this is really useful data. So if you're a creator and you want to know if your own video was included, if you go over to proofnews.org, they actually have a tool where you can search for a specific video or a channel and see if your video is included in this giant training data set. It's something we're going to see a lot more of, is companies finding these different kind of unpredictable ways to get their hands on more and more and more training data, to have that advantage, to have that natural language information. If you found this analysis helpful in any way, please do subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave a comment, ask me a question. I love to get back to you on there.